last time, on Asmiliath adventures. With the slaying of Shadowfang, our heroes find themselves narrowly escaping death as they scramble from the beast chamber. Stepping back out into the void, the Golden Hearts come face to face with Shevlin's Grove, barreling into its sanctuary as the realm around them begins to bristle with death. Now temporarily protected under the yellow leaves of the willow tree, the party discover that they are not alone. Sat on a nearby bench overlooking the tranquil pond at the base of the tree, the spirit of Shevlin the Chosen glances over at the Golden Hearts. Only able to have a quick dialogue with this ancient hero, our party learned that the events that caused the Great Entrance weren't solitary, but instead a cycle that repeats every 360 years. Explained to our heroes, Shevlin reveals that the cycle cannot be broken, but only held at bay until Torodan ultimately gets his way, causing the resettling of Asmiliath time and time again. Shaken by this knowledge, Valoran offers up Shevlin's corrupted eye, hoping that the worn-down warrior would be able to cleanse its curse. I'm on a roll today, boys. Taking the mutilated bit of flesh, Shevlin offers up a body part in return, tossing the arm of Torodan at the party's feet. With only a few more words being exchanged, and the strength of the sanctuary quickly being compromised, Shevlin pours the last of his energy into restoring his eye, and sending the Golden Hearts back to Asmiliath. Finding themselves returned to the fountains in Chevalier's HQ, Valoran finds himself with Shevlin's eye and his father's remains. Decker, with Clay's perceptive eye, discovered that his body has been marked with a symbol of Vermutz, the deity he has been working towards understanding. Gavin, stepping out as he hears the party return, explains that Commander D'Avance has passed, leaving his messenger medallion for Clay. After a brief time of collecting themselves and sorting their thoughts, the party leave the underground facility and head back towards Corsair. In the following hours, Decker receives a letter from his father, revealing that the Caspian has deeper lineage, and the party learn about a tragic fall from the King of Giles. Still attempting to work through all the events and information that has been thrown their way, our heroes depart towards Northwatch Castle, in hopes of tying up loose ends and gathering further support. It is March 19th, as the final hours of the afternoon lead into a quickly consuming evening. The Golden Heart caravan that has been riding hard across the country of folk for several days find themselves finally nearing their destination of Northwatch Castle. Determined to make today their last day on the road, the squeaking of cart wheels and the clicking of horses' hooves fill the air as Florent Lemoyne approaches Valoran at the head of the pack. So I imagine you would be mounted upon Belgrease. Florent Lemoyne would stride up to you, and he'd look back in the direction you're probably about maybe an hour or two from Northwatch Castle as far as you're aware. And he approaches you, kind of looks up at you directly. My lord, I know this might be not ideal, but I'm sure that my liege would prefer having you come in first, seeing as how late it is, and then moving the caravan in tomorrow. He's rather cautious about these things.
Inside check.
Okay.
Ah.
Yeah, I mean, the best I can give you is that there isn't any, I don't know, red flags or warning signs or anything to catch your attention.
I look around at the other Golden Hearts and ask, any objection?
Not for me. I'm only a pickaxe throwaway.
Did the rest of us want to come in as a single group or trickle in individually?
Florent kind of look over at you. I was imagining that perhaps you could spend one more night out here on the road and I can retrieve you in the morning.
Why wouldn't I just stay with the caravan myself?
If that's what you want to do, but I imagine that time is of the essence. That's why we've been riding so hard.
Very well.
Have we heard anything, like, I guess, going up this road, since we're kind of near the river, about Goliaths? Anything like that?
Keeping up with Giggles, and then one thing that's worth mentioning is, I think the spies have already been paid for this month, and then next month is when they kind of get paid again. It is uncertain if that Giles line of credit is going to stay. But as far as you're aware, the spies are still functioning as intended, and they don't even really know what might be coming. But anyway, with the Giggles News Network, you would be getting rumors and hints that the Goliaths, which again, the kind of substantial point about this band is they just seem to appear and disappear somewhat strangely or impossibly. As they were going westward again, kind of tromping through a few villages that they've already visited and somewhat burnt down or destroyed, they got to the fork in the river, just kind of southeast of where the party is now, and then disappeared into thin air again. So they are, and that was probably like a day or two ago. So they're roughly in your area, but not like right beside you, if that makes any sense.
Okay. Cool. Got it.
Is there anything needed before Florent and Valorant depart?
Lord Ethelvane, here, take one of these, and he'll pass over one of the Bang bottles.
Okay.
The what bottle?
Bang bottle. It is flashbang, essentially.
Oh.
It
Okay.
came from the Dragon's Tongue that Clara picked up in Ziggurat of the Night.
Okay.
In
Want to read what it does?
glass vial that fits in the palm of your hand. Inside, blah blah blah. Upon throwing the vial or breaking it by any other means, the contents explode across a 10-foot diameter space, causing all living things to roll a DC 12 Constitution saving throw. On success, take 1d4 and have disadvantage on Dex saving throws and perception checks until end of turn. On failure, 2d6 fire and gains disadvantage on Dex saving throws, perception checks, and attack rolls till the end of next turn. Also forces a failed concentration check.
You know, Clay, the gnome, blah blah blah, you know.
Well, I mean, inside the contents are
No,
a
you don't have to
smudgy
read
and
it. I'm
mustard
giving
color.
you a hard time.
Yeah, you know, just if you get in a pinch, throw this at the ground. Try and not be close to it.
Noted. I will use it wisely if the situation arises.
Also, probably have Giggles send you a message in, a little while. Make sure everything's okay.
Prudent.
All right. Florent would then kind of turn and begin riding off, expecting you to follow.
Yeah,
Is there any reason for us to remain so separated? Could we not wait outside the town?
It's not a town, it's a castle, and
Or a castle tavern?
if you really wanted to, I guess we could set you up outside the wall, but I mean, I'm not trying to lead you, I'm just trying to make sure that my liege feels as comfortable as possible.
Can I also incite this man, even though we have no reason not to trust him?
Go for it, sir.
It's just everybody sounds so shady in this world.
Well, they are voiced by me, so nice.
One higher. What do I learn?
Oh man, we roll. Well, my lord, if your affairs are in order,
yes, let's proceed.
so it's probably to give you more exact time, 4 or 5 in the afternoon at this point, just kind of getting towards that evening time. But you would start trudging up the road to Northwatch Castle. The rest of the party, is there anything you're doing during this time that you're expected to be alone for the rest of the night and then picked back up in the morning?
Oh. Probably like pray / just talk to God, to Dog, and just ask him to look after Valoran, and let me know if he's dying, And then also keeping like a vigilant eye out, knowing we're in
Goliath territory.
Yeah, Goliath / undead direwolf.
You're really
/
concerned about that singular dog.
There is that one direwolf out there, and it's coming sometime.
Go ahead, give me a wisdom and perception check then, sir.
You got it, dude. Wise AF.
Sweet.
Yup.
All right.
Perceptive AF.
All right. We'll get back to you. So
And
Valorant, as you
I would take the time to have further discussions with Gavin, and if that were something we wanted to get into.
is there anything specific you're looking to ask?
Just specifically wanting to learn a little more of the nature of the soul dancers, and what he thinks that might be the reason
Okay.
that I was marked with that.
Let's see. All right. We will return to you boys momentarily. So Valorant, as you are moving up the road, it is rather dark, but eventually you would see the kind of torchlight of the torches on the wall of Northwatch Castle. You would see this somewhat modest keep. It is perhaps about the same size as Corsair, but it is nowhere near any sort of like extravagant or notable structure. It is suitable for the station of a count and folk, especially in this kind of fringe area of folk. Eventually you would approach the gate. Florent would hail the guards. There'd be a small amount of conversation back and forth, and as the large portcullis kind of lifts up, you'd look back at you. I'm assuming that you brought the eye, my lord. I saw that you were messing with it, for lack of a better term. Have you figured out how to use it yet?
Why don't we speak more of it inside with the Count?
All right. Then yes, let's step inside. He would lead you into the interior courtyard that is sectioned off by the large walls surrounding the castle, and in front of you is a somewhat suitable kind of entrance hall, kind of greeting area. There's a large vaulted ceiling, chandeliers. There's a bit of decoration and warm light kind of filling the area around you. In front of you is these two elegant doors leading to what you assume is either some sort of great hall or throne room or something of the sort. There's, a stairway off to your west and various bits of information I can give you if you feel so inclined. But without any sort of interruption, you would just kind of be led forward.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested in getting out of the open anyway, because I don't want Cahoon to see me. So the sooner we get behind closed doors, the better.
Okay. Give me 1 minute. We'll hop over to Decker. So what would you sat down with Gavin, getting into your evening conversations, what would be the first question you kind of pose, sir?
Tell me everything that he wanted to know, or everything that he knows of any previous such marked people were. Like what their purpose historically had been.
Okay. He has been attempting to do his own research on the road, trying to dig up any sort of information he can, even though it is rather difficult to gain more knowledge while on the move, because he doesn't have access to a library or any sort of academic institution, or I guess religious institution in this case. But he has been trying to dig up more. So he would take a few moments, kind of nod along. As far as I understand, they are the agents, the hidden hand of Ramuts. Hidden is a relative term, I guess, in this situation. But they are selected, chosen, the terminology is, I guess, up for debate, and then put to task for Ramuts, whether he needs a political situation handled, or a enemy of his faith taken care of, or some threat to Asmiliath as a whole. Whatever he foresees needing to be dealt with is what the Soul Dancers go after. As far as I am aware, I'm by no means a scholar in this area.
How will he make this clear to me? Do I just continually talk to him at night and hope he tells me?
We've been traveling for quite some time, Decker, and I've been trying to very slowly introduce to you that, unlike how the Caspians are used to dealing with situations, faith is a very long-term and dedicated task or part of life. While I wish that I could just give you answers, or I could tell you the right path to take to reach out to this goal, this new meaning that's been given to you, the only advice that I can pass along is to be patient, which I imagine is not what you want to hear.
Patience is not a virtue I'm unable to have. It's quite necessary for what I used to do. Just very disconcerting knowing that I've been marked, but now I don't know why. And I'm not sure how much time we've left.
He kind of reaches out and he would grab your hand and then like cup it in between his own. And he would give you this look, this like straight glance into your eyes. And you can see Gavin is rather casual as a religious man, as a holy man. He's a little bit more like rolling with the punches or accepting than the kind of uptight, stricter figures that you've dealt with. There is a seriousness in his eyes that you're not quite used to. And he grabs your hand and he looks at you firmly. I truly believe that the gods, the deities, the powers that we serve have set you upon the right path. And I know that it might be confusing, you might have worries, there might be a sense of time or urgency. But all will be revealed when you need it. And I truly believe that.
Thank you, Gavin. And I haven't had a chance to say it yet, but truly I thank you for coming with us. You didn't need to, and you've been a very large help to me personally.
You kind of chuckle a bit. Well, it's much more exciting than trying to drill through the thick skull of your father.
Imagine the reward if you could. Thank you, Gavin.
Valoran, hopping back over to you, sir. We are actually going to shift maps so that you have a good idea of what's going on. And I've already messed up. Good job. Give me one moment. Nobody saw that? Do you see the room in the center of the map, sir?
Yes.
Alrighty, sir. Give me one moment to make sure. Yep. Alright. So as you are brought through the Great Hall, or the entrance hall, you're brought into a throne room. It is, again, a rather large, tall room. There are these flanking catwalks on either side of you that you imagine various townsfolk or commoners might sit and spectate on whenever judgment is being passed. Up on a raised platform at the end of the hallway is a raised area with like a kind of wooded fence surrounding it. There is 3 large chairs, one kind of very easily being identified as a throne. Sat in the throne is what you assume to be Count Barbet. He is dressed with the family sigil kind of emblazoned on his front. He's leaned back, kind of lounging. He's a relatively older man, and he seems to have been expecting you more or less. There are North Watch Castle guards that again wear the sigil of where they serve, flanking you on either side. You pass a couple entering through the door. There's a couple up on the actual platform in front of you. You have quickly been getting the sensation that Florent wasn't exaggerating, that his lord is a very cautious man. It is clear that there is no way the situation's going to go south for him if that was the intention. But Florent kind of leads you up to the end of the platform, bow very deeply to his liege, gesture over to you. My lord, this is Lord Athelvane. We have been on quite a long road to get here, but he is hopefully as eager as I to make your acquaintance. And then he would kind of look at you to, I guess, introduce yourself.
Lord Barbet, it is good to be in your company at last. I hope that you are faring well. We came as quickly as we could.
As he's kind of leaned back in his throne, give me an insight check real quick. Sweet. There is no sign of visible ailment. Though he is old and you wouldn't want to, push him down any set of stairs anytime soon. He doesn't look that he's threatened with some sort of illness at the current juncture. But he leans back in his chair, he kind of peers down at you, and then he smiles widely, and the smile gives you this shiver, this kind of prickling sensation across your skin that this is not right. This is not the situation that you should be walking into. But he would kind of lean forward, resting an elbow onto his knee, with holding his chin in his hand. Lord Athelvane, I have been very eager to meet you since I have been made aware of your presence.
And here I am, ready to assist.
I imagine that my man has made you aware that the Eye of Shevlin is what is sought after here.
I'm aware of the hopes in its capabilities.
He would kind of get up from his seat, walk a little bit further to the actual edge of the platform, looking down at you. The platform's maybe about 4 or 5 feet off the ground. He'd rest his arms over the fence in front of him. I'll be rather blunt, because I've been waiting quite some time, and I imagine you're not one to mince words. The Eye of Shevlin is now mine, and following is going to be the pieces that I have been made aware of that you hold of a particular individual. I don't want any bloodshed. I want to have a conversation with you first, if you would be oh so inclined.
With a sort of sideways glance at Florent, first of all, what is he doing?
So as you go to move, he would take a singular step, and you would see his hand reach down and grab the rapier at his side. And he hasn't drawn it yet, but he is holding it. And give me a perception check real quick. Alright. As you are standing there, you would hear a little bit of disruptive foot movement, stepping. That's the word I was looking for. As up on the raised platforms across the throne room, the little wing symbol is going to help identify who's on a raised area and who isn't. Guards wielding crossbows step up to the edge, glancing down below. They all holding their weapon, focused in on you, very deliberately waiting to be ordered in some fashion. Count Barbet would kind of hold his hands out wide, gesture down with a little tilt of his head. Lord Athelvane, I simply want to have a discussion with you.
So with that sideways glance at Lemoyne, I say, this is why you didn't like that plan with Decker.
As you speak to Florent, you would see this distinct shift in his face, where all of the interactions that you have with him thus far have been mostly pleasant and respectful and very... what's what I'm looking for? Respectful. I'm going to go with that term.
Cordial.
Cordial. Thank you. That's what I was looking for. He gets this almost kind of sneering look, and his eyes kind of squint down at you. Valoran, all of your plans that I have ever had the pleasure of hearing have been dog shit. And then he would look over at Count Barbet, who kind of gives him like a small pat hand wave. Excuse my man, he is rather ambitious.
Why?
Well, I imagine that would be answered in our discussion.
Is the discussion not begun?
Well, I was waiting for some sort of acceptance, but if that's what we're gonna do, I would ask you to very respectfully remove your weapons, sir.
Or what?
Or I will be forced to murder you, which I don't really want to do this afternoon.
You do. And any hope of laying eyes on those pieces will be lost to you forever.
I have heard that you are rather stubborn. And please, I understand that you must be rather frustrated. But your empty threats at this point really aren't going to sway me.
I attack him. He's in reach.
He is 5 feet up from you. I will allow it, but I will point out the fact before you commit to it that there are, like, people focused on you that are ready. If you want to do it, I'm not saying you can't, but I'm just making sure you understand the situation.
I'm doing it.
Alright. Roll me an attack roll.
Can Giga Chad energy. Holy shit.
I wholeheartedly approve.
Thor!
Of course you do. All your characters die.
Thor, as you are sat back in the caravan, and you have kind of secluded yourself a little bit, reaching out to Dog. Reaching out to Dog. Rather uncertain what this evening holds or what the next event is going to be. Somewhat concerned about who is Tar and the Rockhammer clan, and maybe looking for some guidance on that situation. Your tattoo on your chest would begin to glow. You'd feel this kind of warmth, this pleasant feeling on your skin as you are sat back. And are you speaking, like, openly, or kind of just thinking?
So, I was gonna say, like, there would be, like, the initial, like, reach out to Dog whenever whenever Valorant left, it would be like a, like, Dog watch over him.
Mm-hmm.
And then it would just be, Thor addresses him in more of a conversational manner rather than, like, a prayer manner.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more just, like, talking to someone rather than, like, prayer. That's why I say pray.
Yeah. After maybe like a half an hour or so, Valorant has departed sometime. You've been sitting in the caravan alone. Wow, words not coming to me right now. You would eventually get this kind of, like, tingling sensation in the back of your mind. There is worry. And it's strange because though Thor does worry, it isn't exactly one of his defining attributes.
Mm-hmm.
And it begins to kind of rise in your chest. And unbeknownst to you, the moment that Valoran grips his glaive, you get this rush of panic. This, like, your heart begins to hammer in your chest, your muscles begin to tense. There's no immediate threat to you, but you feel this almost spiritually connected sense of dread from the companion that you've traveled with for so long. and the eye tattoo against your skin, the warmth begins to grow hotter and become less pleasant and more noticeable and then painful. And if you glance down, you would see the eye glowing this bright red, and it almost appears that the pupil inside is like frantically darting around the small confined space across your skin.
But just kind of like immediately just be like, oh, and then like stand up because it's the instant reaction is just to be like, ow. I would imagine Clay and Decker are somewhere around the caravan.
Yeah.
And I would run to them or run to whichever one's closest. I guess we can decide. But I would basically say, sure, to Decker. Decker, something's wrong. Something's very wrong. We gotta go. We gotta go after him.
How do you know?
I don't know. I don't know how I know. But this, is it still glowing?
Mm-hmm.
Is not right. And it hurts a lot.
Right. I jump up and I'll how far away are we from the castle?
You're probably a mile or so, maybe a little bit further than that even. It's about half an hour to an hour's ride away on horse.
Begin preparations, and I'll send Aurora straight ahead, just on a scouting mission as far as I can, just to see what's in front of us on the way.
Okay. Anything
We need
else
somebody.
about back?
I was gonna just say to Decker, we need somebody to watch the caravan. It's important. And then I would just instantly grab a horse and go. Like, I'm not preparing. I'm just going.
Look, whatever you're going to do, it will be better served if we go with a plan, a bit deliberately. Don't rush off. If something's wrong, we don't need to add to it with foolishness.
I'm not letting him die, and I'm just going.
Fine, be that fucking way. We'll catch up later. For fuck's sake. So then I'll...
Clay will be popping up with the munching on mushroom. Where's he going?
He thinks something's wrong with Valoran, and I'm not disinclined to believe him, but we can't just leave everything at a moment without knowing what we're getting into. Prepare to plot.
Yeah. Where's the guy that commands the soldiers? And looking around for Iron Pot.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of Iron Pot.
He would be kind of idly listening to this, seeing Thor like kind of rush up and then mount and ride off, and he would basically approach you directly before you even have to call out his name. If there is something threatening our lord, I can certainly take care of the caravan while you ride ahead.
Yeah, expect an attack imminently. Try and find somewhere to hide. If you would be so kind, make sure the box is hidden.
They would have to go through me before they lay a finger on it, and I'm not planning on dying this afternoon.
Yes, well.
Needless to say, my sister gets equal treatment to the box. Take care of her. Let's go, Clay.
Ride fast. And, climb on his horse.
So, Valoran, as you lunge forward, there is this singular moment of pure silence in the room, the only sound being like the swish of your glaive. Count Barbet sees it a little too late, but your blade sinks into the wood of the fence. You can't quite get through the gap. Taking a single step back, you would see his smile grow.
Even if I channel divinity and add 10 to that for an 18?
It's a critical failure. We haven't
it-
discussed this in a long time, if a 20 is an instant success and a 1's an instant fail, but I think I'm already giving you the benefit of the doubt with the reach, so I think I'm going to rule, even if you push it, that it would still miss.
Okay.
He would step back, Florent would draw his rapier, turn his body to face you, pointing the sword in your direction. All of the guards draw spears, crossbows aimed. There is just this kind of tension before Barbet laughs. Lord Athelvain, I thought we were going to have a discussion. I would very strongly recommend that you drop your weapon before I have you killed.
I'll leave it stuck in the wood.
As you take your hand off the weapon, Florent would kind of look up, and the guard up above him would toss down a pair of manacles. He would catch them with the metal kind of ringing, and he would look over at you. Valorant, if you would please give me your hand, sir.
Without leaving Barbet's gaze, I hold my hands out toward Lemoyne.
You would feel the shackles kind of being maneuvered around your wrists, them clinking into place, and then Count Barbet would sit back onto his throne. Still with a bit of a smile on his lips, he would kind of wave casually at the men still holding their crossbows aimed in your direction. Lord Athelvain, I know that you are renowned for your fury, but perhaps I can offer you some answers that you otherwise have been, or that you've failed to acquire. I am sure that you are familiar with the name Novin.
I don't say anything, I just continue eyeing him like a meal.
I was really hoping that my man was playing up your stubborn dedication. If you do not speak with me, this will not go well.
I'm listening.
Perhaps I shall extend the olive branch then, since you are a guest in my home. I was approached by a man named Novin. We had a very lengthy conversation, and he revealed to me a future that I wanted to be a part of. And I ultimately think that you want to be a part of it as well. But you are misinformed ever so slightly.
I'm not joining your devil's bargain, Barbet.
Let me try and explain my situation to you, Lord Athelvain. My family is not renowned across folk. We've been rather forgotten about for quite some time, despite our dedication and our honor and our prestige of ages past. I find my ambition is not fulfilled. And from what I have heard about you, and your house, and your position, we are in a similar spot. And I simply want to fulfill the initial offer I gave you all those months ago before Crow's Crest. I want our houses to ally. I want us to work together and become the ruling man after the rest of the filth and the greedy individuals have been cleansed.
Is that what Novin told you?
That is what Novin showed me.
Even gods can lie, Barbet.
That is true, but I am much more inclined to believe a man with his capabilities than to rest my faith in a queen that is not long for her position.
Because you're going to remove her.
I don't fancy myself for that task, but I, after some conversations with Novin, have a certain feeling that might be in the stars. Perhaps if I gave you a more visceral idea. What I am offering you, what Novin is offering us, Lord Athelbane, is the entirety of folk. We would not be lords and counts. We would not be groveling and sniveling for those who have looked down upon us for years. We would be prominent. We would be respected. And we would be worshipped.
I don't need that freak for that. You could have put your faith in us and had much the same thing.
By all means, Lord Athelbane, if you have the ability to show me my future and dispense the power of the Dark Prince, then I am open to being influenced.
It's too late for that.
And he would stand up. Hop back to the party. What is your approach upon heading towards Northwatch Castle? Like, what are you doing? What are you looking for? How are you proceeding?
I don't know. Did we catch up to Thor?
I imagine if you're riding after him, it would not be impossible to either get his attention or catch up or meet together.
Nah, full sprint all the way.
Wait, sprint or are you on a horse? No, you're on a horse.
Hey, just out of character real quick, like, it's not doing us any good to keep, like, to split into 3 different parties.
Well,
Thor would do, man. I don't know what to tell you.
There is that's what my character would do, but there is also the, like,
Your
refusing to
character
play the game.
After
I
a
have
year
Alright.
and a half of playing,
Cool.
I mean,
I will wait for my party then.
yeah, your
Ooh.
character.
as we get closer, Clay would yell out as he can there. Hold on. Let's. Gets closer. We can't bust in through the doors. We had a plan previously. Send in Decker. Sneak in. Well, I think I can facilitate a way for us to all sneak in.
Can you disguise us?
No, ride close. This is a tricky spell. And let's say like about 30 minutes of hard riding that gets us about halfway.
Mm-hmm.
We've got about another 30 minutes before we hit the actual castle.
Yep.
Yeah, that should be enough time. Gather close. And Clay would sling his discs around. May the void envelop us. And cast Pass Without a Trace.
Mm-hmm. Decker, are you still having Aurora kind of circle and spot and all that fun stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be able to concentrate on her and ride hard,
Mm-hmm.
so it would just be her passive right now.
Mm-hmm. So you guys are clustered up past that trace, proceeding forward. All right.
When we get close, get low. Keep to the tree line.
So riding up to the castle, you would see the same situation that Valorant had approached. The keep is set upon a bit of land that kind of juts out from the hillside, and there's a cliff that kind of surrounds where the walls end and meet the ground. It's probably why this castle has been built in this position. It is a rather arduous or difficult approach to come at the walls in any sort of direction. There is the front gate, which has a road leading up to it. Just using the torchlight and being within line of sight, you'd be able to spot 1-2 guards up on the wall. They're kind of moving and patrolling, so it's hard to get an exact number, that are just kind of generally watching the gate itself. Go ahead and give me a perception check for Aurora, even though you're not cast into it right now. As you are riding, trying to keep your presence of mind of trying to be stealthy and trying to bounce around all of the various emotions going on currently, you would feel that kind of strange, undefined pinging that Aurora would give you whenever there was something noteworthy or something that she had spotted. Would you cast into her eyes at this point, sir?
Yeah, we still. I tell everyone to slow down. Let me take a look through Aurora.
I mean, I would say it's not totally unreasonable for them to just grab hold of your reins while riding. I know even though you're riding fast, if you're just going straight.
Yeah, that would work.
Okay. As you cast up into Aurora and get a more bird's eye view of the scene, you would see the castle and where it's set upon the cliff. There is a stream trailing out from the bottom of this cliff face, and there is a rather old, kind of rusted-looking sewer pipe kind of jutting from the earth. It's not, I don't know, incredibly notable, but if it's a sewer system and it's that close to the castle, they must be connected. So that would be one thing that you would note. You'd also get the perspective of 1 or 2 other guards on the interior walls facing the inside of the courtyard. Actually, let me go ahead and do this. I'm not going to place the guards, but I will reveal the courtyard. If you look to the southwest of the map that Valorant is currently positioned on, you will see what the general courtyard looks like. And so that little roof on the front or the south part is where the gate is, and the road leading up to the main doors where the kind of patio thing is up in the north. So that would be the courtyard you spot, and then the sewer system that Aurora kind of spotted, and that would be the situation that you were approaching.
Where is the sewer at on here?
It's not connected correctly to the map, like where it is location wise. I can go ahead and do this actually. One moment. In the top left, you will see the entrance to the sewer. It is not respective of where it should be. If my thing will work. No, come on. I'll do this. There we go. It's not respective to where everything is, on the grid, but that would be what the entrance of the sewer looks like.
What do you see?
There's a sewer system that we might be able to sneak in, and then, of course, there's the front door.
Something's wrong. I don't think we can use the front door without putting up a fight.
I can hold this for another 30 minutes or so.
We should
We
be
want
able
to be stealthy.
do it in 30 minutes.
Sewer is our best shot.
I agree.
You're gonna ride down that direction then?
Show us the way.
Alright. And now that I've fumbled it a million times in a row, let me actually put you guys there. There we go.
So is there any guard nearby or anything?
So to give you some idea of kind of the scene that you are at, the top of the wall, where the battlements are in the castle above you, it's probably 40 or 50 feet up above. And there are trees and shrubbery and kind of vegetation at the base of the cliff that you can either kind of hide under or hide behind that blocks the castle from having a direct view of you. So you're not in like an immediate threat of someone seeing you, but if you started like waving a torch and someone was looking down, they would be able to spot you. But it's a
Okay.
fair distance. Anyway, we will hop back over to Valorant, sir. So as
Also,
he stands,
I want to give you your poppers while we're just because that I forgot that natural ones on attack rolls are always misses. So
yeah, I
Good
wasn't
call.
100% on that one, but yeah.
no, it's true. So
Okay. So as he stands from his throne, he begins kind of walking around the platform, coming down to you at this point with your, I'm gonna say your hands are behind your back, unless you were super opposed to that.
no, it's fine.
Okay. So with your fangs relatively blunted at the moment, he would actually come up and stand in front of you, and he would reach out and he would put a genuinely kind of friendly hand on your shoulder. A lot of the amusement is out of his expression as he gives you a more meaningful glance. Lord Athelvane, I understand that you are frustrated, and I understand that you are a young man who has been cast into a world of meaningless hurdles and impossible odds, and I truly want to welcome you in here so that we can have a discussion, so that we can speak of the future in a more meaningful way. But I cannot do it if I'm afraid of you acting out.
Take a deep breath and shut my eyes for a moment. And then I say, fine. Convince me.
You would get a bit of a, I guess, optimistic smile. I don't fully understand where the gaps in your knowledge may be. I had quite a unlimited access to information when Novin was here. But I shall explain what convinced me, and hopefully that will be what convinces you. There is no truly averting the Dark Prince. For whatever powers that dictate or influence that causes it, he will succeed. And it is only a matter of time before the heroes of our age fail to stop him. So why not be on the winning team? Why not already be playing for the winning side when the cards are revealed?
Can there be any winning side? Will the world not be laid to waste?
There will be a time that Asmiliath will not be recognizable. But out of those ashes, Lord Athelvane, we will be the sole rulers, the dictators, the gods amongst the next resurgence of humans. We would be able to decide how things should be and create the world that we dream of.
What do you dream?
I dream of a world full of justice, where men who are truly dedicated and patriotic aren't left to the side, aren't forgotten about for pompous political connections and ridiculous financial burdens. I want good men to be rewarded for their actions. And that is not the case in our world today.
I have invested much into this cause. I would think that after our previous encounters, Novan would be more likely to simply execute me.
When he passed through here last, he mentioned that one of his brothers had the honor of meeting you down in Athir, I think is what he said. As far as I am aware, Novan is a forgiving and welcoming individual. He truly wants to bring good men and loyal men to his side, and I think that's what you are, Lord Athelvane.
What is it that you expect me to do?
Well, simply to start,
Sorry.
I want you to hand over the eye in good faith, so that I can give it to Novan and fulfill my end of the bargain. Following that, I would want you to hand over the pieces of Tordan so that we can lay them to rest where they should be.
He's here, now.
He is not here currently, but he will arrive here once I signal him. Once I have the eye, which I imagine I am not too far off from having.
For starters, I have a similar request in good faith. The eye is next to my left breast. In a ring box.
Gonna start reaching for it. Unless
That's where it
opposed,
is.
yeah, he would grab it, flip it open, look down at it. You'd see a bit of like victory in his eyes, like somewhat similar to the excitement that you had seen Florent wield when being told you'd acquire the eye and seeing it for the first time himself. Barbette also looks down at it and just like tilts his head. You can see his eyes getting lost in it for a moment before he flips it back closed and turns his gaze back to you.
For now, in return, even though I am currently shackled, I am a peer of the blood. And your man has spoken quite presumptuously to me. Discipline him.
Give me persuasion. Jesus Christ.
Jeez.
Back to the party.
I'm so sorry, James.
Oh.
So, question: how big does this place look?
What do you mean by big?
Like relative size.
Like compared to a building, compared to like it is.
Yeah,
it is probably like 3 times bigger than Tamantop Castle.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. Got it. And this grate looks rusty, you say?
So the grate that you first are met with at the end of this pipe looks really old and worn. It almost looks like it's just kind of like haphazardly leaned up against the entrance.
I would just look at Decker. Decker. You have that little, I mean, I don't know how far it goes. But, can you just, like, try to message Valoran
Yes.
and just honestly just keep doing it until you get something. Because we need to let them know that we're on the way.
So I did double check this, and I do want to point it out just so you guys understand the
You have
answer
to
that
point
you
in the
get.
direction.
It is blocked by stone and wood, so like closed doors, walls in your way would be a issue. But if there was a open space to him and you're within range, I will let you know. But if you do it
Okay.
now, you would not get through.
I would do it now. I'm sure I would fail.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting point. Would I know I failed, or would I just?
That's come up a couple times about other spells. My ruling is usually that like you would know the kind of like feedback, like when you press a button or whatever, you understand that you've pressed the button even if it doesn't affect like what you're doing. So yeah, I would my ruling would be that you understand that you reached out and didn't get that feedback you should have.
Also, we said that Giggles was going to message Valorant at some point.
Yeah,
And
you
then
guys,
with the commotion,
yeah. Which I'm not super opposed to you saying you had left instructions before you left, because you did mention that before leaving.
I mean, I obviously like left,
Mm-hmm.
but I imagine with the commotion, Giggles probably would have messaged him because it makes sense.
Now,
Yes.
Valorant was captive there for an hour.
What I will give you is, as he left, Valorn, during parts of the conversation, you would have heard at some point, if something is wrong, don't reply. And that would have been the answer you got.
And then would he have sent a message to me or one of our
that could have taken
party?
place as you were leaving. I think that time frame's loose enough. That's fine.
Okay, then I would, if I had a like quick moment, just let him know like that we're on our way. Like if he can send another message. I don't know how many times he can do it per day.
I would imagine that Valorn would be able to assume that if a message
Yeah.
about "Are you in trouble?" and then he responds
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
that the
yeah.
party's on.
I mean, yeah, I'm just
yeah.
Wait, I'm just okay. I've lost the thread here. So you ran off, but as you ran off, you got all that.
So how to retrofit this, because it is really janky. Daniel did mention earlier, before everything got revealed, that he wanted Giggles to send a message to Valorant. All that we're doing is making that take place when you guys got Thor's little eyeball thing. So as you were
I'm just
leaving,
saying, like,
he would
at
have
some
sent the
point
message
there would
out.
have been a commotion that would have been like, oh, there's something wrong, and then Giggles would have sent that message, even if I wasn't there.
Yeah,
if
he
you
probably
guys
just,
were
like,
there,
shouted out after you, like, "Oh, he's not replying," and that would
Yeah.
be enough.
yeah.
So are we at the store?
You are at the
Yeah,
store.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so
All right,
I would
no.
like.
And before we go in, Decker would look at Thor. Thor, we need to come to an understanding. If something is truly wrong with Valorant, his life might be at stake. We might have exactly one opportunity to do this the right way. Now, I understand that you're emotional, and I understand that you want to help your friend. So do I. This is my realm. Shadows, sneaking, it's what I'm good at. From here until the time that we need to fight something, we need to make decisions together, and we need to rely on each other's strengths. So all I'm saying is, especially now, this is not the time to go forward without thinking. Please.
Well, on the time that we have already wasted talking about this, I understand that already, which is why I haven't gone barreling through that door yet. Does it look like it will make a sound if we move it?
If you're careful with it, you imagine you can move it without making a huge sound.
Would you like to assist me in lifting it or trying to move it?
Yes, of course.
Both of you go ahead and give me, we'll say, Dex check. Nice. So as you two stand side by side, the grate is perhaps like 4 or 5 feet wide. You try to lift it and you realize that even though it is mostly loose, there's like just fringe bits of metal kind of holding it, almost like aluminum that's been like bent way too many times. And so you both kind of like in rhythm bend it, twirl it, kind of twist it, and just shift it back and forth until you hear those connections kind of popping loose. Eventually you lift the grate, you feel all of its connection to the earth itself let go, and now you're holding the metal between you two.
All right. Now give it to me, and I'll basically just take it, and I'll just set it by, like, this tree right here.
Yeah.
Just prop it against the wall. Lead on. Clay, get over here.
Yeah, I'm very thick brush.
And I'm gonna send ahead of us. I'm gonna just so I'm gonna put a hand on Thor's shoulder, and I'm just gonna stay connected to Aurora as she makes her way through the tunnel in front of us.
Yeah, I was just about to ask everyone to roll stealth.
Add a 10 to whatever you roll.
Thank God.
Goodness. Dum, dum, dum.
So a 38.
All right. As Aurora, so that kind of like slimy, rubbly bit is where like sediment and stuff is built up, and waste has been built up in this pipe to the point where you would have to kind of like slither and crawl and almost kind of like get on your stomach in a few places to get through this small gap. But Aurora, being a bit tinier, is able to kind of hop and skip through. Eventually, you would get to the corner where you can look forward and you see a much sturdier looking grate cast down into the water. And if you peer at it and kind of glance around the edges of it, you would see that it is padlocked firmly on the far right-hand side. And I guess I can give you a little bit of what you see through it as well.
We do not leave any mark or trace as we go through that gunk.
Okay.
I have thieves' tools. Is that what I need to lockpick?
Yep.
Yeah. I would like to just watch behind us as well. I mean, I'll be with him. I imagine we're all traveling together, but
yeah. Well, Decker's when he's in Aurora, he has his hand on you and letting you kind of
yeah.
So.
But I imagine picking the lock, he probably doesn't.
Yeah.
So I would also make sure it's not like trapped or anything. I don't know. He seems. Everything's fishy now.
So correct me if I'm wrong. I think lockpicking is Dex with proficiency.
Proficiency, yeah.
Yeah.
If you're proficient with thieves' tools.
Mm-hmm. So go ahead and roll there, sir.
So my proficiency bonus is 3.
Okay.
Oh, it's gonna be
Say that with it.
All right.
nice.
So as you are all kind of gathering at the end of the sewer pipe, you look inside, and there's a smaller kind of square room. There is this lip that shows that like the water's kind of flowing through, and then you would go up and over to the floor. That's probably about 2 or 3 feet above your eye level. But Decker, as you're kind of about thigh height in the water, crawling up to this grate, you begin fiddling with your tools, messing with the lock, and just kind of glancing back to see both Clay and Thor not struggling, but certainly not moving with the fluidity that you did through this small gap. You just hear this click, the padlock moves from the mechanism, opens up, and we'll return back to Valorant. Is there anything specific you were doing, sir?
Ones are not necessarily automatic failures for skill checks, just attacks.
Okay, so that was your persuasion to have him discipline Florent, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Is there anything you can add to that?
That's 2 natural rolls in a row. If I get
Thank
a
God
third,
your
I'm gonna
life isn't on the
disconnect and
line.
reconnect. All right. No, I don't. I just sort of stand there,
Okay.
waiting to see how he responds.
You would see him kind of lean so that he can look Florent in the eye before kind of standing back, and Florent would kind of like look a little bit like shifty between you two. He would clap his hand on your shoulder a couple of times. Lord Athelvain, it was rather rude of him to reveal his true self so quickly. I think in good faith. Perhaps he does need a little bit of discipline.
I just sort of I give a closed-lipped smile.
He would use his hand on you to kind of pull you to his side, and he rests his face like just beside your ear and begins kind of whispering. Lord Athelvain, while I am just and fair, I am rather cruel. And as he says that, he kind of looks up at one of the guards on the balcony and kind of does this little gesture with his finger. You hear the mechanism of a crossbow go let loose, and then you would hear Florent let out a cry of pain as a bolt finds its way through his thigh, and he's just staring down at it and up at his lord. You would see his initial like shock and pain and frustration quickly shift to like obedient fear, and he would just bow his head a little bit. Sorry, my lord.
I'm impressed.
As you should be. Just be aware that I have absolutely no issue with doing that to you as well.
Perhaps that will change.
I certainly hope so. While we talk, though it is not usually correct etiquette, I will have to keep the restraints on you. I'm sure you understand.
I expected as much.
You would kind of turn to the guard that's on the level with you, who's standing by that pillar to your south. He's like, go bring some wine and look lively. And then he would, as he still has your shoulder in his hand, he would start leading you back up to that raised platform.
And perhaps a dancing girl? I know we're in the Reaches, but there must be someone with rhythm.
Lord Athelvain, we had to make some... We had to cut some dead weight from our staff recently. Those who did not see eye to eye.
You're saying that all the way here in the unfriendly north, you don't have any entertainment?
Not that I would be willing to send my men out into the dark to retrieve.
I thought there would be someone waiting in the castle, but never mind.
So he would lead you up and plant himself back on the throne, and then position you in the chair beside him, unless you resist in any sort of way.
No, not anymore.
Alright. Alright. So as he sits you down, he kind of takes a moment, like leans back in his chair, looks over at Florent, who kind of bows his head and then scutters from the room, supposedly to go deal with the fresh wound that he now has to deal with. And he would turn back to you. Lord Athelvain, from what I have heard from my man Florent, you have been very determined to resist the inevitable. Most recently, I heard that you have rediscovered some lost artifacts in the Chevaliers. That's what you call yourselves?
That's right.
Was the eye the only point of interest that you found down there?
On the contrary, I found the remains of my father.
I cannot say that I knew Garmont well, but I imagine that was comforting for you.
It was, as a matter of fact.
Why don't we try this on for size? What has you so resistant to seeing my way through the near future?
My path over the last 2 years has been constantly blocked and impeded by everyone from foreign nobility to half-breed beasts. The word you used was frustrated, and that is more than accurate. That was the source of my outburst.
Kind of glances at the glaive still stuck in the wood.
In a way, I can already see your point. Because the Golden Hearts have been confounded at every turn. Meanwhile, the way seems to open before Novin. People give him what he wants scarcely before he even has a chance to ask, and it is amazing.
It is not unusual for mortals to bow to the intense power that Tordan wields. There are things that Novin can reveal, truths that you cannot deny, that make it very hard to turn him away. It does sound like you are primed to enjoy a life where doors are opened for you, questions are not asked, and everything is as it should be.
I have been fighting Count Barbet because I anticipated that there would be nothing of the world after what is to come. That all would be destroyed. But if you say that there is life after Tordan, maybe the math changes.
That is what I like to hear, Lord Athelbane. We'll hop back to the party. Alright. So the lock would click open, you could very easily remove it, and then the grate is set upon hinges so you could just swing it out of the way if oh so inclined.
The way is open.
Everyone give me a perception check real quick. All right. As the grate kind of pushes up against the water and you get it pushed up against the wall enough for you to move through, not in the room that you have just opened, but past that door to the south, you hear a pair of distant metal footsteps like fading off, and then another door opening.
Clay would poke about in the room, kind of check, what those crates and boxes are, see if there's potentially maybe a uniform.
Okay. Give me a stealth check real quick. And you're still using Pass Without Trace, correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And give me investigation.
Decker, can you look through the door? I'm indicating this door down here.
Did you ask me to do what?
Look through the door, like peek through.
What does Aurora see?
Oh, well, the door's closed. And I don't think Aurora could open it.
Can she hear anything on the other side?
You would hear, to just give you direction because it's difficult to do it based on Aurora, to the east, there is the sound of like glass clinking, but besides that, not much more you can hear.
What is this like? Does this just look like a guard was here? Like, is that kind of the noise that we're getting? Is like somebody in...
I'll go off the investigation that Clay gave. It appears that this room is more or less kind of like the dump storage room. There's lots of like old antique furniture that's like damaged and hasn't been bothered to be repaired. Lots of crates that are full of like mildewy linens that have been forgotten about for quite some time. The general vibe that you get kind of using the evidence of what's around you and on the table is that this is the sewage room that does smell rather terrible, that has been converted into kind of like a hideaway, like a guard's hangout area. So that's kind of the room that you are maneuvering with, or in.
Is there any guard cloak, even if it's like tattered or damaged,
There
enough
would
that I can get?
not be any clothes with the sigil on it.
I'm gonna close the door behind us and like dummy lock it.
Okay.
So that it doesn't look like anyone came through, just at like a quick glance. And then I guess I'll guide Decker to the door if he's still in Aurora, but if not, he can...
No, I'll pop out.
Alright.
Is the door locked?
No, it's not.
Just be quiet.
Try to open it quietly.
Okay. It's not locked, and it's just a normal door, so I imagine that opening it up isn't going to require any sort of check. I will give you a peek. There you go. So opening the door up enough to kind of peek through it, you would see down to the east the hallway ends, and there is a door that is closed, kind of leading off to the left at the end of the hallway. And that is where the glass clinking noise that you heard supposedly has come from, and you've heard that noise stop. And now there is like a shuffling and footstep noise again.
Is it coming back?
It's growing closer.
Everyone back. And I'll quietly close the door.
Mm-hmm.
And
close the door. Yep.
I'll stand on one side of the door.
Is that candle in the corner next to me actually lit?
Yes.
Is that an actual candle?
It's a lantern.
Snuff that out.
Okay. But you close the door, and you wait, listening to that footstep noise. You hear another door close. You hear the footsteps pass from east to west, and then you hear them fading away kind of farther to the west.
So I'll go ahead and open the door wide enough to put Aurora through.
Okay.
And did a door close behind him, or?
You would not hear a door. You would just hear the footsteps leaving.
Okay. So then, would she see him leaving, or is it too like we waited until?
Yeah, you waited until they're
Okay,
gone.
okay, gotcha.
But yeah, as Aurora hops out, you would see that the hallway to the west turns, and you can't see around that corner. There is a lantern in that spot. There's a door just to the southeast that is almost opposite the door that you just opened, and that is the hallway that you've revealed.
Let's go quickly.
All right, we know the cellar's that way. As I point to the way he's going.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Give me a
would
perception check, all of you, real quick. All right, Decker, as you are trying to reach out with all of your senses and really gather as much information as you can, with the silent motions of the party right now, you have a extensive opportunity to listen to any sort of drifting noise. As you are moving a little bit to the east, back to the west where you heard the footsteps fade away, you would hear distant, muffled voices. So muffled that it's really hard to tell what they're saying or what words are being used. But there's that low, distinct edge to one of them that gives you enough of a hint that you are hearing Valoran's voice very far away.
In the direction that the footsteps disappeared to?
Yes.
Valoran is this way. So also is someone else that just passed by.
Do you hear anything from this room?
The two doors, if you were listening out and kind of pausing by them, you would not hear any sound coming from either of them.
I'd like to
scoot to the side and let him pass through first.
Yeah, I'd like to check this door. Does it look suspicious in any way, or?
It just seems to be normal. I mean, you're functioning in an area where people like live and work and function, so you're not like in a dungeon with, booby traps everywhere. So the door is just open. You open it.
Yeah, I'll do the same thing. All right.
So as you crack the door, the first thing that hits you is this horrible, pungent, rotten, decaying stench. And as you kind of like almost have to flinch away from it, it's stinging your nose so abruptly, you peer in, and in these various jail cells, these wrought iron gates and bars that cross this small room, there appear to be multiple piles of discarded bodies in different states of decay. And there is a rather thick swath of insects and flies and roaches that are disturbed as you open the door.
I'll close the door.
Okay.
Close it.
Clay would check the one he's next to.
Mm-hmm. You would reveal, I don't think it's a surprise, a wine cellar that is devoid of anyone. It just appears to be a wine cellar.
Okay.
So I will bring Aurora to this corner.
Okay. You would reveal stairs leading up. That's where we're going to hop back to Valoran. So, a bit further into your conversation from where we last were, he is now like fully relaxed in his chair. A guard comes from that door to the west, the one that he had sent away, and he has a bottle of wine in hand. He also has a clay cup in his grasp as well. Let me drop him back in real quick. There you go. And he would dutifully come to the little raised platform, pull one of the tables up beside you two, start pouring wine, and then kind of look at you, and you'd see the guard look a little bit confused, and Barbette just kind of gives him a wave. Lord Athelvain, I imagine you will not be insulted if I assist you with your wine.
It is rather undignified, isn't it? Couldn't
Oh,
I just
my.
be shackled to something?
Persuasion.
Yeah, give me persuasion. Don't roll a 1. Okay. He kind of looks at you, looks up for a little bit, kind of mulls over the conversation you all have had thus far. I think I can work with restraining one of your hands to the armchair. Would that be suitable, Lord Applebane?
Yes, that would be more comfortable.
He would kind of gesture for two of the guards, the ones stationed on the platform with you, to step forward. They would work on kind of standing you up, taking the shackles off one hand, and then locking it around the armrest of the chair beside you, so that you now have your left hand free. So,
How sturdy is the chair?
They are pretty sturdy pieces of furniture. They are meant for distinguished, like, ruling and presence and, like, a show of authority. So they are not just, like, little wicker chairs.
I tried.
I'm
But yeah, he'd lean
I'm
back in his
relaxed.
chair. He'd take his first sip of wine. You do express concern about what the world will look like after the Dark Prince's return. And while I will not gloss over how traumatic it may be, those who truly have their faith are the ones that are selected to bring men into a new age. And that is what I desire to be. And that is what I am securing by handing over the eye.
How can you be sure that he isn't just telling you what you want to hear?
I'm a rather older gentleman, Lord Applebane. I have met and dealt with a very wide variety of individuals. You develop a bit of a instinct with people, being a noble folk. I'm sure that you are aware, though you are just beginning your journey. There is no uncertainty with Novin. Perhaps he's full of shit. Perhaps everything he has told me is a complete and utter lie, but I know for a fact that he believes it.
I see. So we must rely then on the idea that Tordan is not misleading Novin.
That seems to be the position, though. The power that Novin has been allowed to use through his connection with the Dark Prince is not a lie. And that says something.
I would probably still be fighting. I would have fought you, your men, Lemoyne, until you took me down. But for one thing, we met Shevlin.
Is this some sort of joke?
That's the reason the eye is worth anything. Shevlin was in the void, waiting. Or rather, he seemed almost like a prisoner.
You've traveled to the void?
That's right.
Well, that certainly will make my explanation of Tordan's power a bit easier then, because you have seen it firsthand.
I expected you already to know.
I have yet to hand over my show of true faith, and he kind of gives the ring box a little shake. I have merely just been a servant for this time, waiting for my opportunity to prove myself.
Lemoyne was there. He heard us speaking. He did not send a message to you about our adventure.
All that he made me aware of is that you entered the old temple of the Chevaliers and came out with the eye.
Curious.
Florent
Well.
is as ambitious as I, so I would not be surprised if he is trying to surpass me in some way.
Don't know how you can sleep at night with such servants.
He kind of glances at the guards in the room, waving a long, gesturing hand. I have many servants who I do not fear, Lord Athelvane, so I can stomach one.
Well, at any rate, we spoke to Chevlin's ghost.
Rob, can you...
And he said the same thing.
I feel like my job of convincing you is growing easier by the moment.
As I said, if not for meeting Chevlin, seeing how this legend of history, this hero of time, was beaten down, pathetic. I would have fought until this hall's floor was slick with blood.
With your own blood, but it is a honorable but foolish path that I'm very glad that we did not go down. Lord Athelvane, let me, I guess, cut to the chase. If I go and send for your caravan of companions and allow them into the courtyard, would you explain to them the situation?
I could try, but cannot swear that they are all having the same thoughts after our encounter with Chevlin's ghost.
Well, certainly a man of your station is ready to trim the weeds in that case.
I know that you are very assured of your security here, of the abilities of your men. But you should know, being able to aim a crossbow is not enough.
Well, that's why there's
When-
many that aim a crossbow.
The Golden Hearts can call columns of searing light from the sky. They can tear men to pieces with their bare hands. Crossbows are quaint.
Well, I was going to keep this a secret, but since we have become such fast friends, Lord Athelvane, I will let you in on a little spoiler. These guards are not the only warriors that I have. I've also been gifted a band of Goliaths that rest here from time to time. Novin simply made me aware that they are serving the same purpose, and I house them whenever they need it. So you may think yourself better than my gods, but I would fashion the combined strength of them and a horde of Goliaths might be a bit much for you.
I'm simply being honest with you, Count Barbet. Know your enemy and all that. Do not underestimate them.
Certainly true, but since I'm imagining that we will have the vicious and violent Lord Athelbane on our side, which I have heard rather interesting accounts of your combat prowess, I don't fear for my safety, Lord Athelbane.
I would hope to convince at least one of them. You say that there are good men to be needed in this new world. At least one of the Golden Hearts is my friend.
Then perhaps we shall get more wine and convince them. As we'll hop back to the party. So you have discovered the stairs that lead upstairs. Imagine that.
Whoa, crazy. So we hear the guard leave. Does Decker or Aurora or anything hear the guard coming back?
Not currently, no. The only noise you can hear right now is this kind of back and forth dull conversation that is drifting down the stairs towards you.
All right. Well, I'll wait for Decker to make his move. The muted Decker. Nope. Nice try. There you go.
So with Aurora on the stairs, does she see anything?
Yes, you'll have to hop over to the map that Valorant is on, and you will see the staircase and what you are looking at. Of course, you're going to have to try and not be too meta and understanding that you now know where everything is. But for what Aurora sees, there is a hallway, there's an offshoot to the west, it extends to the south, and there is a door to the east that you hear the voices coming through.
Which stairwell is she coming out of?
That one. Actually, I'll go ahead and do you one better, and I will drop her there. If my computer will be nice with me.
Giant owl.
It's Dragon Owl.
I'll go ahead and give you control of her.
Okay, so she would just, kind of walk down, and I guess she's able to discern that layout.
Mm-hmm. She would hear the noise coming from the eastern door. There would be a hallway to the west that, unless you move forward, you still wouldn't be able to see around, and then the hallway extends to your south.
So at what point in the conversation did she come out there? Are they still talking, or would she have heard any of what has transpired?
I would say that the voices are still too far away to get the words of, but you can now more clearly understand that it is Valorant and another strange voice going back and forth in conversation.
And does she see that he has shackles on?
Aurora's not in the same room.
There's a door. There's a door right here.
Yeah.
Oh, I got you. Well then, shit.
So we just know that he's in or past this door.
All right. And what goes... Okay, so coming down
to
here...
give you little hints of where things are.
Yeah.
So, hopping down a little bit further, you would see a door just to the northwest of Aurora, and then a hallway that eventually ends off to your west, where a bunch of crates and kind of bits and bobs have been stacked up.
All right.
Give me
so
a stealth check for Aurora real quick. And she would not have the pass without a trace, right? Or would she?
If she was within 30 feet of us when I cast, then... But I... Not to...
She's
been up in the air, probably.
She had already... Yeah.
Okay.
The stealth is... Let's see. That's just a dex check plus 1. All right. Yeah, because she didn't have a stat line. Or she has stack. Here's just a dex check. So
16 then, or is that right?
I'm not sure what her proficiencies are or whatnot, but
Okay, we'll go with 15 then.
So
Yeah.
it does say that like it's a creature you choose within 30 feet. It says for the duration. So does that mean somebody could walk in, and if you choose to add that bonus, it would apply?
It would have to be at casting
Okay.
within 30. But the duration is, for
Because you
everyone.
only cast it on yourself. That's why I was wondering.
So as Aurora is kind of, I'm assuming hopping, because like hovering as an owl in the hallway might be a little bit difficult. Glancing around, you would hear that conversation off to the east, not interrupted, but there are footsteps quickly approaching that door just to the east of Aurora.
all right, she would. I'll have her fly this way, and I'll tell everyone else that we might have somebody coming that we should probably hide.
Okay, give me a stealth check again for Aurora to see how well she can hide.
Oh, you know what? How about this? How about I just...
All right.
and she comes back with me.
So you would hear from where you are positioned at the bottom of the door, or the bottom of the stairs, you would hear the door open, and if you're looking up the staircase, you would be able to see the door where you're at, but the door does open to kind of block the staircase, because it opens outwards. You would see it open, you would see like a face kind of peering past it, it kind of glance down the stairs very briefly, look down the hallway, shrug, and then close the door.
Would Valorant see like this guard moving?
Yeah, if during the conversation while Valorant's communicating, he would see a guard go up, open the door, and then close it.
And if I try to reach out to Valorant, still wouldn't work?
What is the exact limitations of it? You want to shoot the thing in chat?
Yeah.
Because it's like a
think
foot
it
of
might
stone
actually
or
work.
something like that. 1 inch of metal, 1 foot of stone, or 3 feet of wood. I would say that it could get through that door. That you could now message through that door. That's not 3 feet of wood. That's the only thing really blocking you. So.
All right. So, I'll that being my intention, I will sneak up the stairs.
Go ahead, throw me a stealth check. Thor, throw me one as well if you are moving up the stairs.
Yeah, I assume we're all kind of sneaking together.
Yeah. All right, and that's a 39 because you still have pass without trace.
Yes, it should still be up.
And 24, and then Thor, did you roll one?
Yeah, I'm working on it. My thing's for some reason closed.
I'm gonna go ahead and do this real quick.
Another 24.
Just so you're all somewhat in the same area. All right.
And when I get to the doorway, I'll send Valorant a message that we're right above you, outside the door. Are you in trouble?
I think we've discussed this before. Does it require you to actually talk to transmit a message back?
It says that it does.
A whisper that
It
only
says that I
whisper a
can
message.
reply. It says that I can reply in a whisper that only he can hear, but I would assume I would still be moving my mouth.
Yeah. So let me I'll append onto that. Cough once for yes, and cough twice for no.
I'll also point out that you are on the same level as him as far as you are aware.
Okay, I thought that this was a balcony with them aiming down.
That is the like semi-transparent is a balcony up above. You're on that ground level below. The little icons that have wings are the guards up above that are on that platform. The stairs that lead up to it is down to the south. And then you guys are on ground level with the door under the balcony. I know it's a little confusing, but
You're right outside the room. Are you in trouble? Cough once for yes, twice for no.
So I lift my cup of wine and take a drink, and then go, Pardon me. I'm curious, Count Barbet, when did you decide that you would bring me here under false pretenses? Were you lying to me even the first time that you sent Lemoyne to help?
He would kind of end his own sip of wine, gulping it down. Yes, when I first sent my man to you before Crow's Crest, that was on behalf of Novin, who made me aware of your intentions to oppose him. And
I would just let Decker like give him a message basically, and just say like, tell him that we're ready to go, or ask him what he sees or what we're facing first. So that's kind of important. And then when we get that information.
well, Decker, you just got the response from Valor from your first message. What do you do with that?
I'll turn back towards Thor and Clay. I'll get close and...
Yeah, this is all like hush hush.
Yeah, he can't talk to us. He seems to be in some sort of distress.
I can change into a rat, crawl along the sides of the walls.
They would.
That's a good idea. Tell you what. Why don't, Thor, you and I go back downstairs? We'll make some sort of noise that might draw the guard out. When the door opens, you'll have your opening to go inside and scout out the area. And I should be able to talk with you on the other side when it's safe to do so.
At best, we draw out one guard. And then if they notice a rat, they might just try to kill it. In which case, then... surprise!
Well, no. Set fire to... There was a wine cellar. Set fire, that will draw all the attention you want.
But that would let them know we're here, too. I mean, it's either we just go in, or we try to slowly pick them off, but at that point, they're gonna know something's wrong.
Tekka, ask Valoran if we should attack.
Valoran, we're in position to come through the door and attack. A single cough for yes, 2 for no.
Such a long con. This game was rigged from the start.
Being a noble and folk, that's something that you just have to accept.
And all these guards with crossbows that you're so proud of, did Novin provide them?
No, these are my men that decided to stay loyal.
It's the second time you've mentioned having to reorganize. What happened?
I figured out our new direction, and I explained it to the staff and the guards and the people beneath my rule. Those who saw the light stand before you. Those who did not no longer are with us.
Did you have many men that defied you so readily?
There were less naysayers than those who agreed.
As
You would have gotten the first, 20 words of that? What's the limit on a message?
Yeah, I think it's 20.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, it sounds like quite
Also
a few.
just outside the door, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds like this might be a fight that might be on the edge of our limits. One more try. Valorant. I understand there are guards with crossbows. Should we attack now or wait for some other signal?
I love this, by the way.
Alright, so what what's my sense of the men in this room relative to the fights that the Golden Hearts have been through in the past?
Give me insight and add your proficiency modifier. Sweet.
That would be a 10. Wait, no, I'm already proficient in insight.
No,
so-
you can double up. I'm using your combat proficiency and your insight proficiency as both.
Just 10.
Yeah. Assuming that they are not extraordinary warriors, that they are more or less common guards or soldiers or militia, the fight would be difficult, especially with you so restrained. If they are reasonably competent, it would be very difficult to just outright win. The main source of your worry is that you are currently disarmed and restrained. So it would be 3 versus the rest of the room. So as you get your semi-cryptic message from Valoran, you find yourselves, all 3 of you, Thor, Clay, Decker, left to your own devices for a few moments as you continue to hear Valoran and Count Barbet speaking back and forth.
I guess I'll just kind of. I assume he'll tell us this information.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what's down? What's down these hallways? Can you sneak
here,
through?
let me. I'll take the south.
Well, don't we have to stay near you to be sneaky?
No, you'll be fine.
Isn't that how the spell works? We have to be within 30 feet of you.
That's super vaguely worded. Yeah, I guess, yeah.
It describes as like a shroud of darkness that surrounds you, so I imagine that would mean they have to be within the 30 feet.
Okay. Well, as long as y'all don't move, then just stay on the stairs.
Clay, give me a perception check. As you leave the party behind and you start moving down the hallway, before you turn that corner that you are approaching, you just hear the faintest kind of like shifting of weight and like the gentlest scraping of like metal and leather around the corner from you.
And he'll back up.
Did not mean to do that.
Nah, that's cool. That's fine.
Nice.
Yep.
There's at least one person around the corner. That's it. Decker. Send back to Valoran. If he's ready for a fight. Or what's going on? Tell him to talk as much as he can.
Valorant. I believe we're getting close to the decision to come through this door. Are you ready? Once for yes, twice for no.
I'm so tired of not having the whole picture.
That is rather frustrating. Hence why I have placed my faith in someone who sees all.
I believe Valorant is quite clear that he does not want us to at the moment. He believes we do not have the whole picture. I can only assume that means there's quite a dangerous situation for us should we go through that door.
Okay, well, should we try to take out some of the, like that one guard that Clay heard quietly?
Well, I
Because
don't know if there was more.
think whatever he is afraid of, if we start a fight on this side, it will follow us this way. I think we should probably wait until the opportunity for attack is a clear one.
So you want us to just wait here?
Here, let me turn into a mouse. I should be able to slip under the door.
Is the wine good?
Yeah. Is there a specific reason? Okay.
This isn't bad. Are you sure you don't have a dancing girl?
The more you state that request, the more you get me skeptical. From what I have heard, you're rather, modest.
Where did you hear that?
Unless my man is making up things about you, which I would not put past him, given the current situation.
It wouldn't have to be a lie. He could just be wrong.
True. But Florent is... he makes up for his ambition with prowess. I don't believe him to be wrong more often than not.
If I'm going to sell my soul, I want some God's damned perks.
Give me persuasion.
I did visit a brothel back in Tronberg. Maybe your boy missed that.
Damn. Sweet. You kind of almost get like an exasperated look, kind of like level with you a little bit. Lord Athelvain, I am not being coy. There are no women currently in my castle, though I could have Florent dress up rather provocatively, if you so desire.
You sound as though you've taken that route before.
I have not, but I have considered it from time to time.
No women.
Women
even
don't
a-
have the stomach for the current mission we are set upon.
Not even a kitchen maid.
I could have one of the guards go string one of their bodies up for you.
Barbet, that might shake my faith more than anything else you've said so far. All right, then, something else. Would he give me Roizhmazev?
All that I have inquired about so far is folk. Roizhmazev is a world away. But I don't imagine he would have a problem unless it is promised to somebody else.
It may be a world away, but it's a small world. The Kardish insulted me once.
I don't see why you could not make that humble request.
What else are we waiting for, then?
Well, I'm waiting for your agreement that you are ready to convince your party to transfer their faith into the one they have sought to destroy thus far.
I'm not going to make promises I can't keep. I'm ready to make an attempt.
Then I
But it
shall...
will not be easy.
I will send for your companions then. And you kind of nod to the guards down in the south. One of them would kind of bow and then go to leave the room.
Much as I have come to loathe him in the last few minutes, you should probably send Lemoyne. A stranger walking into camp will put them ill at ease.
I did just shoot him in the leg. That does make travel a bit inconvenient.
It was only his thigh. He can't ride up on a horse.
I'll just send one of my guards and wait for the response.
Very well.
So, party. What are you doing currently?
Standing outside the door.
Here, let me go through. I think if I keep to the walls, they won't see me.
So you're gonna turn into a rat and go under the door?
If I hear commotion, I'm bursting to the door. Because it's over at that point.
That's fair. Okay, hold on. And
Spell check?
Can you concentrate on past... Oh no,
No.
Pass Without Trace would probably be gone at this point too.
right,
Yeah.
yeah. So I would lose the concentration on. But if they're not doing anything to make
Yeah, but
noise,
you no longer get that bonus is what I'm asking about.
Oh, as I change into.
Well, as you go through the door and try to not be spotted is where the problem is going to lie.
Well, a rat slipping under the door.
It's still a rat. People
Well,
usually don't just
here's-
like watch them run around their house.
Here's my
That's it.
logic, and let me and shoot me down if this is
Mm-hmm.
not okay. Rat is a tiny beast.
Mm-hmm.
It's not small, it's tiny.
Okay.
As far as guard positioning, the only ones who would have direct line of sight would be this guy and the people up at the platform. Now, in my mind, I'm thinking maybe that's too meta. I don't have that knowledge, right?
I'm still following you. Keep going.
Okay. But in theory, unless someone's watching that door, then most rats, I don't know how much y'all have dealt with rats, but having worked in the restaurant industry, they are not easily noticed unless they go across like the center of the room. When they're along the
Mhm.
wall, pretty hard to spot because so small against the floor. So my thinking is I should be able to get in. At worst, they're going to say, oh, it's a rat. And I don't think they're going to fire a crossbow at a rat.
No,
No.
I am not disagreeing with any of your statements. I am just saying that it's not just an immediate success. Is all that I'm saying.
No. I know that.
Yeah.
I
And
know
I'm also not
it's
saying
a
they're going to
risk.
shoot you, but if they spot you, it's still something.
Right. And so, worst case scenario, I'm discovered. I'll go back through the door. Or
Attack of
something else.
opportunity.
Run into up toward the DS, whatever. But
So you're
I'm
going to roll me
thinking this
stealth with
is
advantage.
with advantage.
Yes.
Oh,
I was going to give it to you anyway, but I appreciate the speech.
so let's see. My proficiencies. I don't actually have proficiency on stealth, so it will just be straight dex. Right? No, because it's plus 0, so just a d20.
All right.
So, pop through. It's right there. As
Mhm.
Le Rat.
As you squeeze under the door, which it's kind of a tight fit even as a rat, but you kind of pop your head out and you glance around with your head before you push the rest of your body through. But you are able to now see the scene that you've heard. You see the guard off to the southeast. You see the raised platform with Valorant and Count Barbet and the two guards. You're also able to see the two guards up on the catwalk on the opposing side. They are all mainly focused on Count Barbet and Valorant. So you are not noticed as you squeeze under the door. You muted?
Yeah, he's muted.
Sorry. What does the railing up here look like? Is it slats or is it solid?
Yeah, so it's like a thick banister at the top, and then there's like wooden pillars or columns or slats up and down.
Okay. How's the lighting from there to the stairs? I see chandelier
there's-
in the top. There's a
Mhm.
candle right next to it.
Yeah, that's pretty well lit in the center of the room, and the stairs on the west side is pretty well lit.
Stairs on the east? No, I don't care about the stairs on the east. I gotta try. I'd like to try and come up to the stairs.
Okay. Give me another stealth with advantage. Wow. Okay.
So, like, could I get all the way to there, or even further?
Yeah, I say you can get there. What I am gonna point out is moving from that spot, you are now moving into the gaze of where most of the guards are looking.
Mm. That thing's on a table, right? That candle.
Yep.
Could I get under the table? That should be shadowy.
Yeah, I love that.
So,
Hey, Valorant, give me a perception check real quick. Nope. Okay, continue.
I'm gonna hang back there for now. But I would like to scope the room and see if I can get anything more than the guards I already saw.
One thing that I will give you, I'll go ahead and do this. You look to the west. you will see this is the upper floor version of the area that you're in right now. You'd be able to see that door to the south wall that leads to the raised platform. That is the only real thing that you can identify in the room besides what has already been described.
Okay. But I'm able to clock all the guards up top.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I got 4 hours of this, so I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna chill there.
Okay.
I'll send a message to Clay. What does it look like?
Yeah, can you speak?
Yeah, can polymorph rats speak common?
Very dangerous.
What did he say?
He said,
Well, ask him. Do the same thing you did with Valorant. Be like,
Clay.
how many guards are there?
Clay, squeak for the number of guards you see. Quiet.
One more time, I didn't get that.
Valor, give me another perception check. Oh no. Okay.
I believe that there's about 10 of them in there, so.
Okay.
Clay, are you in a position to free Valorant? Squeak once for yes. Don't say anything for no.
Looking at Valoran, I can see the manacles on the chair and him.
Manacle on his
Okay.
right wrist and attached to the arm of the chair he's in.
It's pretty close.
And then realistically, even if I release wild shape back, I mean they're manacles. I don't think I have anything that could break them.
They are metal manacles. They would be very difficult to just brute strength through.
Yeah, and so given my spell list, you would hear nothing back.
I don't think you can free Valorant.
Valorant, as you are discussing with Count Barbet, Rob, mute your mic again. He would pause for a moment, holding his glass, and you see his eyes narrow and his head tilt ever so slightly. And he goes to stand from his seat, and he begins walking towards the table.
I follow his eyes, look where he's looking.
Clay, give me a stealth check, not with advantage, just flat.
Why are these rolls so good?
He kind of holds a finger up towards you, Valorant, before he leans under the table. You see him kind of peer back and forth a few times, and then shrug and return back to his seat. But Decker and Thor, what are you doing currently? You're muted.
You're muted.
I'm still waiting for any further information.
Don't know if you're gonna get much more.
Yeah. Or at least for my companion to come back, or to hear some sort of commotion indicating that things went to shit, so.
Thor, are you attempting to do anything?
Nope.
Like
All
a
right.
damn puzzle.
So as you wait outside the door, Barbet would take a seat again, look over at you. Well, I imagine we have about an hour or so before your companions arrive. Game of Dragon Chess, perhaps?
Why not? It's been a while.
So he would, again, wave a hand. The guard to the southeast would stroll off for a bit. Unless any other actions take place, we're going to sit through a game of Dragon Chess.
Wouldn't he need his hands for Dragon Chess?
He has his left hand free.
He has a free one. That's what I'm saying. we gotta go at some point.
Diplomacy is not our strong suit, guys. I'm just saying.
I don't think that this is a diplomacy situation.
Right, Thor. If ever there was a time for you to absolutely tap into that brutal side, right now might be the time. Send a message to Clay. Clay, are you in a position to land any sort of devastating first strike? One fucking squeak for yes. Was that one?
Was that 2 or 1?
That was 2. That was 2.
Okay. So not a devastating blow. Are you ready, Decker?
Odds are even, Thor.
Stealing my fucking
What?
line.
What are those? Even?
Good enough. Let's go.
Alright, so I'm gonna kind of like prep things before I just, because I'm assuming we're about to run in there, correct?
I think that is
So
the plan.
I'm gonna send a message to Valorant. Now everything slows for a moment here, okay?
Okay.
I'm gonna send a message to both of them, telling them that to look at the door that we came through. And when that comes open, that'll be their signal to do whatever they can. And that's going to happen in about 10 seconds. So. Or does your prep, how long's your prep need to be, Thor?
All I need is, a second to go into rage, and then I'm good. And my pendant, I already activated it, so I have a AC bonus. I'm good for 10 minutes.
All right.
So that's the plan? Valorant,
Yep.
do you attempt to say anything with that message being passed on to you?
No, I'm just waiting for the dragon test board.
As like the countdown gets close, I'll just say, "Dog, please help us," and I will then kind of from Bruce Banner to the Hulk just burst through the door.
Are you raging or primal raging?
I am just raging for now.
Okay.
I am not primal raging yet.
Okay. Everyone go ahead and
Do
roll
we
me
get any-
initiative.
Do we get any sort of surprise round or?
Yes. I'll roll that, but I've got to get your initiatives first. Valorant, that's you too.
God damn it, Thor.
Advantage, baby. It's hard to beat me.
Alright. Thor at 21. Decker at 20. Clay and Valorant at 11. Is that... Oh, you both have 0. Whichever way you guys want to go, you can decide.
Actually, question for you. Initiative, I think, goes with the
Yeah,
dex
no.
modifier.
He would have his
Should...
+2.
Okay.
Well, I'm a rat right now. Do I go based off of that?
We'll just say Clay first and then Valorant.
Okay.
Okay.
Can we take our 10-minute break, or 5-minute break or something? I got
Wait.
old man bladder right now.
We did, but okay.
We did?
Yeah.
That's when they went to go to the bathroom and we chatted it up for.
Oh my god. Completely missed.
Go for it, sir. I have to do some setup. Go for it.
Your priority needs to be to free Valorant.
Trust me, I'm on it.
All right. Thor, it's your turn.
All right. So, bonus action is to rage. That already happened, but doesn't really matter. I don't have many other bonus actions. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. I assume I would notice Valor in there.
Yeah.
Take out my handy dandy pickaxe, seeing that he is chained, and I would like to try to break that off.
Give me a dex check. Because you are
dex
striking
check?
a very small object. Valoran. Give me a dex check. Sweet. Thor, give me an attack roll. That's the
I have 2 attacks, so.
You are. Give me attack damage, not roll. Sorry.
Oh. 14.
So, as you rush up, bursting into the room, climbing up the stairs, racing to Valorant, which you see is restrained. Valorant, you knowing that this is coming, but now kind of seeing the reaction of the room. All of the guards kind of like glancing at one another, readying their crossbows, uncertain what to do, as Barbette's like watching Thor in slow motion race up. As you hurl the pickaxe down, attempting to strike the manacles, either the arm or the chain itself, you miss. And as Valorant kind of like tries to turn and adjust to your swing, you clip the edge of his arm, sending this massive scrape against his skin as you swing wide.
Okay. So, I guess for reference, where is this thing attached to the chair?
It's the arm of the chair. You could try and wrench the arm of the chair out.
Yeah, can I just attack the arm of the chair then?
Sure.
I have 2 attacks.
Yeah, I'll have you do strength for that. Just a strength or athletics check versus like a... Yeah.
You want athletics?
Yes. Okay. As you miss the shackles and kind of frustratingly re-shift your attention, you hook the end of your pickaxe over the arm of the chair, which is this rather thick, old, worn wood, and you give it a quick wrench, and you hear this groaning noise as the nails that hold it in place are dragged out of the grain, and you keep yanking backwards, the veins in your chest popping out, your muscles tensing completely, before you rip the arm of the chair out, wood splinters flying as the metal shackle is still attached, with Valorant having this kind of weird, disjointed weight still attached to his wrist, but at least he can now move his arm.
Just kind of put a hand out really quick and just say, oh, hello. And I will bonus action healing light him. So you get a d6 back. Okay, well, I tried.
All right. Okay. Is that all you got, sir?
That is all I have for this turn, yes.
All right, Decker, you're up.
I'll push the door open and standard, I'll have Aurora give me the help action on the one in front of me and then fly to the middle.
Up above you.
Yep, see, we were both confused about the same thing.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so let me see here.
Guys with wings are 15 feet above you.
So basically all of them except
Yes.
for...
Yeah.
Okay.
There's no way to vault up there, is there?
You could potentially try and like climb the pillars up there, but they're not exactly meant for climbing, so it'd be difficult. The easiest way would be the stairs down to the south.
Could you vault off the statues?
Yeah, like a run, and then, well, I don't know. That would
Just
be pretty
judging it,
actually
yeah, it would be
American
rather
Ninja Warrior.
difficult. There is, I will point out that you are aware that these aren't the only guards in the building.
Well, this is the entrance to the stairs.
Yes.
All right. 20, 30. 35, and then I'd like to hide behind this pillar.
Okay.
And I'll give what is that? Okay, I'm in menu hell right.
You're gonna give the help action to the guard there to the right.
I'm gonna give the help action to Clay versus Count Barbette.
Okay.
And then I'll fly Aurora back here.
All right. Clay.
Underneath.
Yeah, and give me a stealth check real quick, Decker.
And I've got advantage on hiding, I believe.
Mm-hmm. And Clay, you're up.
Okay. Help action is only good for attacks, right?
I think so.
Okay. I'll go ahead and throw out a 4th level guiding bolt.
It's also the next ability check, so it's just like an aid.
24 to hit.
Give me perception real quick.
No, I'm sorry. Bonus action to drop wild shape. I forgot about that.
Nope. No, you're a rat. Just...
Yeah, no. Bonus action, release wild shape, and then fling out a guiding bolt.
Yeah, give me perception real quick. Or is it reasonable to assume that you like threw the table backwards when you shaped, or did you step out from beneath the table?
Well, how tall is that table?
Yeah, I was gonna say he might just walk out.
I'm pretty short. Like, I don't need to be standing.
Yeah,
to
it's
do
like
this.
waist height, so it's like 3 feet, 4 feet.
Yeah, I could be on my knees.
Okay,
Knees.
okay.
Yeah. I fair to say I'm prone.
No, I mean I'm fine with it. I'm not arguing. I'm just
Alright.
like wondering for flavor. But give me the perception check.
Yes.
All right. As you burst forth back into your regular form and you swirl the crystals around, letting loose your energy, as it goes to leave your fingers, it just evaporates into the air. And like with a bit of confusion, you look at your target and you see this rather strange silver like amulet that's against his chest with a black onyx jewel in the center crack and shatter as you go to cast your guiding bolt.
Hey, got it out of the way.
Yeah, but I wasted a damn 4th level spell slot. Okay. And I guess Clay will kind of roll forward and stand up.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be it for Clay.
All right. Oh, they're surprised. Never mind. Yeah, it's all good. We're fine. This is combat. This is great. Valorant, it would be your turn, sir.
All right, so
Quick point of order. You do still have an arm of a chair attached to your right hand. There isn't any sort of like real mechanical thing around that. I imagine you could try and like take the manacle off the like broken end, but that would take a little bit of time, like an action maybe, bonus action.
I'm actually not worried about it right now. I'm going to first step here and snatch up my glaive. And then the rest of my turn is spent thus. First. Okay. So I am playing up this wound, this mark that was left on my arm, just sort of looking down at it in shock. And I say to Barbette, I tried to warn you. Thor will tear off your limbs before more guards can come. Thor, my friend, follow my orders as well as you have since the day we met, and wait and hear what he has to say. Barbette, we must flee.
Are you trying to be deceptive?
The intimidation was Thor will rip off your limbs before more guards can show up.
But I'm assuming you're not being genuine in your, like, protection of Barbette, correct?
That's true.
I would probably rule this as deception. I get what you're trying to do, and I appreciate it, but it is more of a trying to trick him. Is that still what you want to go with?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Do you want his reaction even though it's not his turn? I think that makes sense.
I'm not gonna do anything else with my turn. I spent my action talking, so.
Alright, we'll wait then. That doesn't matter yet. That doesn't matter yet. Thor, you will have another turn at the top of the round. Do you want to do an insight to see if you are deceived by Valoran?
I guess.
It's a little bit weird in meta currently, but it's just.
Can he not have insight with advantage considering that massive hand?
I'll allow that. Yeah, sure. It's a very strange scenario. You are uncertain, Thor. Given all that has happened and expecting one reaction and getting another. I'm not gonna say that you are fully one way or the other. It's just very confusing.
Okay.
Act as you see fit. That's what I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah, okay. Well, I guess I'm gonna try to. I'll go up to Count Barbette, or who I assume Count Barbette is, and I will attempt to restrain him or do like a grapple check. So what is that? Athletics?
Yep. Well, yeah, out of your athletics, and he can choose athletics or acrobatics. Yeah, I imagine so. Yeah, you can very easily grapple him.
So with a grapple, do I get to move him at all? Is that a thing?
You can move up to half your speed.
Okay. Then I would move with him, facing in front of me to here. So he would be right here.
Okay.
So he's basically in front of me versus all the guards.
You're gonna get... I only mentioned this briefly, but I did try to mention it. The guards in front of you have spears. And as you go to move, now that it's the next turn, and they're no longer surprised, are going to use Polar Mastery to attack you as you step in front of them. Or at least the one that you're next to.
So the one that's diagonally to my right?
Southeast, yeah.
Do I get cover because I have the count in front of me? Because that was my goal, is just to have him as semi-covered, just holding him right here.
I like the flavor, but that would be such a mechanical disaster because it's not really what grapple is used for, and if I started using it against you guys, it would be very problematic, so I'm gonna rule no, but I like the idea.
Okay, I mean, it's fine.
They rolled a 1. Sweet, you're fine. Keep going.
I'll just use his feet and swat the spear away.
Do they stab Barbette?
Ooh.
Okay, Jarek. Odds or evens? Try me.
Yeah.
Or Jarek. Fuck. Clay. Odds or evens?
May the odds be ever in our favor.
They do not.
Fuck. So I'll just like kind of hold him out, kind of like a kid because I'm just lifting him up.
Okay.
And just like be semi-squeezing him and just be like, all right, let's hear him out. And I'll just like, yeah, basically hold him in front of everybody.
Okay.
And just wait for Valorant because I don't know if he's about to turn or not. Like, I'm like really confused now.
Okay. Decker, your turn, sir.
Sorry, James.
I'm gonna, hearing what's going on, I'm gonna hold my action.
Okay. Well, under what condition? What are you doing?
I'll wait to the end of the turn, but is there any way that I can? Because I want to see if they're gonna fight. If they're gonna fight, I'm gonna come up the stairs and I'm gonna start attacking guards. If not, I'm gonna remain hidden.
I don't think mechanically you're supposed to hold, move, and an action. Am I correct on that, James? I think I am. You're just supposed to hold an action.
There's not really a hold action in 5e. You can skip your turn, or you can ready an action for conditions.
So if you still want to try,
I can't like choose to delay my turn after somebody with a lower initiative, or
You can try to like
no, but if
you can try to like sneak up since you're already stealthed and
yeah,
everybody's
that's what I was
kind of facing
recommend.
us.
You can get up
You could,
there
like,
and hold your attack action.
Yeah.
This is one of the fights that really is testing the limits of rules as written.
then I'll remain hidden and just stay.
Okay. We finally get to the guard's turn, and they get to act. How wonderful is that? So let me go ahead and... and then, oopsies. Alright. I think that's everybody for now. So as combat begins to start, guards start pouring in from the east door, the west door. 2 guards come in from the south door. They all hear the commotion and the shouting and the raised voices. The guards up on that catwalk, kind of uncertain what to do as they see Barbette taken hostage, are probably going to shoot at Valorant and Clay. I will give Thor kind of the flavor of you are holding Barbette, so they're not going to want to like unleash a volley on you. So I'll split it even. It makes the most sense to me. So that would be 3 to Valorant, 3 to Clay. Clay, what is your AC, sir?
Does the... Oh wait, are the 2 below shooting them?
No, those are, they just ran
Okay.
in. They're holding melee weapons.
Gotcha.
19.
19? Okay. What do they have? First one hits. Second one hits. Third one misses. So let me go ahead. You take 14 points of damage as 2 crossbow bolts find their way into your armor. They don't dig into your flesh, but it is clear that they have penetrated and now kind of like almost irritating you as you shift around the little piercing points, like digging into you beneath. You take this hit.
Don't forget your 5 temp HP.
Valorant,
From being
what is your
caravan.
AC right now, sir?
18.
First one misses. Second one misses. Third one hits. And you take 5 points of damage, sir. So, They already used, that guy's basically already used all his movement. There's 2 guards up on the platform, the one that just entered from the east. So, I think these guys are going to make it to there. We'll make it to there. We'll make it to there. I think the one next to you, Thor, is going to attack you. And the one... Yeah, he's probably going to also step to the right and attack you as well, because we're holding the count. What's your AC, Thor?
17.
That's a miss. That's a hit. You take... you are raging, correct, sir?
Yes.
4 points of damage.
Okay.
So, I think that's all the guards? Yeah. Yeah, so this is when combat kind of officially seems to start. All of the guards kind of leaping into action, trying to defend their count, loosing their bolts from above, bursting into the room, and attempting to stop these horrible bandits from murdering their lord. And we'll be down to Clay.
Let me think. Clay will ready an action to cast Blight on Barbette if he gives orders to attack, or like a aggressive, if he gives a aggressive response.
Okay. It's a little vague, but I'll take it.
Well, I'm trying to think of what he would do, because either he's going to attack or he's going to yell to attack. So, aggressive response, if that'll work. And then, as well, bonus action into his Archer Starry form.
Mm-hmm.
Which I will not fire off my bolt right now, but readied action for Blight, Starry form, and chill there.
All right. Valorant?
So I'm not. Did he? I'm sorry. I think I missed something. Did he not get a turn since I spoke?
So he was surprised, and I know that probably still gives him the ability to speak, but not to act. That's the correct understanding, right?
Oh, okay. So his turn came around, and he
couldn't do anything.
I don't know. That's a tough one to call.
I think even if he was able to speak, he would be so stunned because he's surprised that like there's nothing he can do. Like he couldn't even walk or move with you, so he would just like wait because he was surprised. Is kind of how it rolled at the time.
Is his initiative order that low?
Yes.
Oh.
Oh, damn. How tall are the statues that are in front of the throne?
Probably like 6-7 feet. They kind of match the banister railing.
Okay. To hell with this. Thought I was gonna keep trying to be clever, but Thor's got him in hand now, and it's not worth it.
Don't you know you're the Golden Hearts?
Sorry, what'd you say?
I said, don't you know you're the Golden Hearts? Clever is not in the playbook.
So with my bonus action, I will cast Shield of Faith and myself, and then I will attack the guard that's next to me.
Okay.
Number 1.
That is a miss, sir.
Number 2.
That is a miss, sir.
And
he's flanking.
I use.
Yeah, I'll give you the +1. That first attack would hit.
Okay. There we go.
All right, that's 15.
And then I will take cover Like I'm taking cover behind the head of the statue from more crossbow bolts.
Okay. So, Valorant, as you look at the disastrous scene playing out in front of you, uncertain if you've been saved at this point or not, you step forward, grab your glaive, kind of take position up on this, like, stage that you found yourself on. You strike down... Oh, did you get that fire damage? Did you activate your glaive? You're muted.
I guess I didn't. I would have had to use a bonus action to do it when I swung it. What's his face? But then I let it go. So yeah, no, I don't think so.
All right. Real quick.
Yeah, you could either do it rather than Shield of Faithing.
Gotcha. So as you land your blow across the back of this guard, he kind of like lurches forward as you strike the chainmail beneath his cloth, and he kind of looks at you real quick. You can tell that you have kind of like thrown him off of his feet, but he's still standing. And then you look at all the crossbows lined up on the catwalk, kind of shouldering yourself against the statue. Is that what you got, sir? Okay. All right. Let's see. For those of you who are not currently riding Death's Edge, you would watch as a injured but patched up Florent would go stumbling through the door to the west, kind of like looking rather shocked at first, and then very, very angry quickly after that. But he would stop as he gets through the door. We're finally to Barbette's turn. As you... he'd have just watched Valorant strike a guard, though. As you have him grabbed, Thor, and you're basically just kind of like presenting him to the crossbows in hopes that one finds the Lord in front of you, he would kind of start like wiggling in his grasp, trying to get his face back towards you to meet your gaze. It's like, you don't know what you're doing. Put me down. You don't understand what is at stake here.
Do I need to respond to that?
Rules is written, you can't respond to your turn, but would there be any shift in your demeanor just like instantly?
Not based on what he said. Especially after Valorant attacked a guard. Like,
he is going to try and break free, though. I imagine that's a rather...
yeah, to me it's
That
game
sounds-
on.
Aggressive.
Okay.
Ah,
He would still be in your grasp. There really isn't much more he can do. The top of the round...
Is that aggressive? Is he being aggressive? Or is he being
he is
passive?
trying to break a grapple.
I would not rule that as aggressive. I would rule that as, like, defensive, because he is being attacked and he's trying to defend himself.
It's in the eyes of the beholder.
I'm going to rule that as not triggering your very vague ready to action.
Fair enough.
But top of the round, Thor, before you go, Decker probably has the best sight of this. As you are hidden behind the column, waiting for your time to shine, as you're looking up at the guards up on the east platform, you see them drop the crossbows they had just fired, reach down and grab another one that is preloaded, and shoot. We're probably going to do, again, 3 to Clay, 3 to Valorant. So it's 19 and 18, or your Shield of Faith now, don't you?
It's 20. Do I not have any cover from the statue?
Yeah, I'll probably give you partial cover, +2.
Okay,
So AC
22.
would be 22, so 19 and 22. All right, Clay.
You have cover from Valorant?
First one hits Clay.
I wished.
Second one hits Clay with a critical. Third one hits Clay. Jesus. I swear, everything just wants to kill
high
you.
AC.
I know. I am...
You
I
really
don't
just
get
need
this.
to build a tanky character.
Let me
That's
have
the
this.
message here.
I always get the short out of the stick. I never get to roll anything cool. Okay. So that is... Okay, I'm going to roll the crit first. So that would be 8 for the crit. I'm going to give you one at a time so I don't have to worry about math. Math is hard. Then another 8. Then a 6. So that's 24 total.
I gotcha.
All right. Again, as you are...
22.
Oh. Yes. Thank you. As you are attempting to gather the vast amount of information and strangeness going on in this fight, you would take 3 more bolts. Valorant at 22. That is a miss. That is a miss. And that is a miss. As you hear bolts flashing off the stone statue in front of you, these like, and then kind of like trailing off under the stage behind you. And that would be their turn, or another turn. That would be the layer action. All right, Thor, you go for it, sir.
Okay. Well, seeing as we're attacking now, I guess I'm just gonna... Can I just, like, free action break this like, let go?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think it's an action to break a grapple. I think you just, like, can let it go.
Yeah. Because, I mean, I can't do much to him while I'm just here. So then I will leave him here, and I will take a strike at the 2 guards to my left and right.
All right.
Or I'll take a strike each. I'll go ahead and do reckless. Why not?
Those both hit.
22 and 24. So that is 18 and 12.
Yep. As you throw your hands away from Barbat, who kind of like stumbles to his feet, catching himself on the railing, you grab your pickaxe and just smash the face of one guard, wrench the point free, slam it into the other one that had just been struck by Valor, and both their bodies crumpling down to the ground.
And then that is my healing light of 1 point to Clay. As my tattoo will just wink at you, and you feel just a little bit better.
You're just bleeding profusely, and there's just a small hint of like, it's all right. All right.
Still bloody.
All right, Decker, you're up, sir.
All right. So I'll have Aurora give the help action on that one right there,
Okay.
and then fly back to cover. And as I'm running up the stairs, I'll yell out just as loud as I can that, "Gods, this is not your fight. I'm the chosen champion of Rumutz. This is your one chance, or you will die." And then I'll attack. I'll attack this one. And so
Did you tell them this was their last chance and then stab them?
Yeah, you know.
Or are you stabbing one to show off
I'm
to the
stabbing
others?
one. Yeah, I'm stabbing one to show off.
Okay. I was a little confused there. Surrender! That would hit.
I mean, showing your combat prowess might make somebody surrender.
Oh, you would have rolled with advantage too, but that, you're fine.
Roll with advantage.
Yeah, I'll
Just
roll
get
it.
that one.
See if I get the. Well, yeah, there we go. Good call.
I
Told
mean,
you.
yeah, alright.
I don't care that it doesn't matter.
It is
And,
such an absurd amount of damage over his HP that go ahead and explain to me how you murder this man, and then I'll give you advantage on your intimidation.
So as I said that, hopefully drawing their eyes towards me, just for flavor, I know I don't have multiple attacks, but I'd like to do an upward stab, underneath his armor, upwards to where the rapier sticks out of his mouth, and then as I pull it out, just do a 360 twirl and then chop his head off. And just for fun, push him over the edge as all that happens.
Okay. Decker, as you ascend these stairs with lightning speed and you call out to the guard that kind of looks over at you in a panic, you can see the slightest amount of fear in his eyes. He was not expecting a combatant to approach behind him. As you drive the rapier under the chainmail covering his torso, the flexible blade bounces off of his spine internally and starts shooting upwards through his body, and as it collides at the base of his jaw, it follows the movement and goes sprouting out of his mouth as the tip of your rapier has almost turned all the way entirely back towards you, and as you slide the slick blade out from this incredible and semi-implausible penetration, you then shout out your warning to the other guards, who all kind of look over in fear as you, with a relatively blunted edged blade, cleave his head off with your rapier and then give him a good old shovaroo over the edge, with his head landing with a wet flop onto the wood beside you. Go ahead and roll me intimidation with advantage, sir.
Oh, yes.
I'm glad somebody's getting the good rolls today.
Carry this fight, Decker. Carry the fight.
It's okay, Nathan. You'll have another combat some other day.
Hey, you're pretty good at hitting me.
I don't want to kill you.
Yes, you do.
Son of a bitch. What I'm gonna give you, because I just rolled a 4 on a 1d4, is that 4 of the guys with crossbows are going to hold their action this turn versus acting. They aren't going to throw their weapons down, they're not going to run away, but they just aren't going to act this turn. So.
Okay, and then I'm going to use my second wind.
Okay.
And I'm going to attack the next one, and concurrent with attacking him, I'll just yell out again, "God damn it, I said run! This is your last chance." And then I'll attack him.
Alright.
Yeah, 17. Does that hit?
That would hit. And you would not be getting sneak attack damage on this one. So that's 11.
And booming blade. And
14?
Yeah, I'm gonna re-roll that one.
Okay. So that was a
So it was
2,
a 14,
now it's a
now it's a
5?
16. Yeah.
Okay. You would be able to dispose of this gentleman as well. Alright.
Did the second did that second one going down?
I'm gonna only give you one of those intimidations, because that's not technically like an action or a rule. So. But yeah, you got the other 4 crossbow guys, not the act, so you basically just skipped the guard's turn again, which is totally fine. Clay! Oh, wait, no. I get the guards that have spears. I get something. Alright. Jesus Christ, this is a disaster. These poor bastards. Barbette is... Ooh.
He's free.
Shoot me the definition of sentinel real quick.
Okay, hold on. Features. Hold on, I gotta find it.
That is worded so incredibly in your favor. That is disastrous.
I know, it's a great feat, isn't it?
There's no way out of it.
Yeah.
I know what you're trying to do, but there's no way out of it.
I was imagining that the guards could shove him out into safety, but no, it is literally if they just leave your reach, which is absurd. Alright.
That was my intent.
I don't want to stab Clay, but he really is the one that needs a good stabbing at this point. Yeah, we're gonna go there.
None the least.
You have advantage on attacks against me, just
Yeah, you
FYI.
are reckless, yeah. And since I gave Valorant the benefit of the doubt, these guys are gonna stab your little toesies through the fence.
Will he get cover from that?
I'm gonna go with no, because they're like past the statue. They're still just stabbing through the fence. So.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. So that would be an attack on Clay, 2 on Valorant, and 1 on Thor. Alrighty, Clay. You are, what was it, 19?
Yeah.
Oh. I'm not making this shit up. It was crit. It is 7 points of damage to you, sir.
Seth, this is your curse. You build characters to watch them die.
See, secretly, I've been a changeling this whole time, and I roll up with a new person.
Valorant, do you get full arm mastery?
He does. Or he should.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Did you want to use it on the one approaching Clay or the 2 approaching you?
Let's use it on the one approaching Clay.
Alright, give me an attack, sir. Sweet, that hits. Give me damage, and you still aren't flamed, correct?
Yeah, you're not. Because you've only taken one turn, right?
2, but I was chatting.
Alright.
It's 14 without fire.
Yeah. Not enough. He is very severely damaged as you're able to strike over the short gnome, hitting the guard landing his blow as he is struck, letting out this sharp pain as he also drives pain out of Clay, this like strange, somewhat connected 3-way attack. Alright, and then we'll get the 2 that attack you, Valorant, which is, what are you at, 20, right? Those
Yes.
are... Oh, that second one hits. These guards, despite getting absolutely murdered, are rolling hot. And that's 9 points of damage. Jesus. And then the one on you, Thor, gets advantage.
Yes. 17.
That would be a hit.
Okay.
Am I an idiot? No, I'm not. Okay, good. Wow, that would be 5 points of damage resisted, so it's 5.
Okay.
Alright, that's all the guards' turns. Okay. Clay, your turn, sir.
All right. Blight
Okay.
on Barbette. Screw readied actions. So he needs to make a Constitution saving throw of 15.
Oh my god.
He
Whoa.
fails, but he's going to use his legendary resistance to succeed.
Okay.
That's fine. Got
Half
one
as
down.
much. So 20 necrotic.
He's dead.
What?
How do you want to do that?
Clay, as you reach out and touch this frail, old lord that is not even armed, and you reach your magical energy into him, you see his muscles and his figure begin to shrink, begin to decay, and before he can even let loose a scream, his body crumples into a morbid pile of flesh.
Well, non-lethal damage out the window.
I was really expecting more hit points out of him.
He's just a person.
I'm sorry, we've been facing a lot of tough people. And then I guess
This fight is a goddamn disaster.
I'll go ahead and bonus action attack the guy next to me.
Okay.
Which, if it's arranged, I believe it's a disadvantage.
Yes, because within 5
Yeah.
feet. Yeah. That would be a miss.
Okay. And can't really
Wait.
afford to get shot.
Hold on. That's a ranged attack, like with a bow or something. But is that a spell? Do spells get the same?
Yeah, range
Yeah.
spell attack.
Well, it's
yeah.
ranged, yeah.
Yeah, anything ranged is disadvantage when it's close.
And yeah, I guess I'll just stay there. Fuck,
Count
this is
Barbet
not how I
died
expected
like he
this.
lived, briefly.
Good character development.
Yeah, I'm glad I don't have any notes for him. Valorant, you're up, sir.
So I watch Barbet melt in front of my eyes. And I just raise an eyebrow and like kind of just look mildly annoyed. And I say, I tried to warn him. And then I use my bonus action to scream the name of the glaive to light it on fire. And attack the guard next to glaive. I mean, shit. Clay.
That's your new name, sir. You are Glaive.
It's one syllable. The guard next to Clay. Yep.
That'd be a hit. He's
Die.
dead.
The guard on the southwest.
Okay. That's a hit.
Die.
He's dead.
Die.
And I used my bonus action already, so my turn's over.
So as you watch the man that you had been so elegantly conversing with for so many hours of this game just melt into a pile of useless guck, you blaze your glaive, sending the combatant that had stabbed Clay into the abyss as the flame lick his corpse on the way down. Lashing your glaive through the fence down into the lower level, stabbing the guard down there through the heart as the light leaves his eyes, and you draw back your flaming weapon and just all the emotions of what has just happened fully on your face. Florent is gonna leave. He's gone. He's gonna turn right back around and dip. And it's Barbet's turn.
Is it though?
And now it's Thor's turn.
I'll just like give a quick look to Valorant, share that same anger, and just recklessly attack the guy in front of me with my first attack.
That hits.
That is 14 damage.
He's still up.
Alright, well, not for long.
Oh, I'm gonna roll 2 nat ones. I swear to God, damn it. That hits.
Yeah, nice try.
He's done.
And then I will just shift right in front of this and kind of just squat down for the cover against the impending archer attack.
All right, Decker.
I'll, of course, Aurora will come in and distract him, and then I'm not gonna run. I'm just gonna walk, and as I'm walking, I'll tell them all that, to be very honest, I'm pleased you decided to stay. And then I'll attack this one.
All right.
Holy shit, dude.
That would be such a terrifying sight. That hits. You have advantage as well.
Just walking up with a bloody
Yeah, after
rapier
you
after
see him
decapitate
disembowel your
your
friend, yeah.
Might want damage on that first one before we
Yeah, I need a damage roll.
because he's probably gonna
Yeah, he's gonna. Okay, yeah.
and then just go to the next one if you can.
Let's see here. That was 3.
5, 10, 15. So yeah, you
yeah.
took more.
So I will just, I'll just walk up to this one and smile at him and tap my rapier in front of him, just right in front of him.
So now that it's finally their turn, and watching their lord get literally evaporated before their eyes, and knowing that this fight is very much not going in their favor, they are all going to start trying to flee. I imagine the one that tries to flee away from you, are you going to attack Decker and Valoran?
Yes.
Yeah.
Alright, let's see it. That hits. That's a 12.
Yep.
That would hit Decker. There we go. But this is without... That would still get him. Okay. He's gone. Just going to dash the shit out of here. As far as I get them. Alright. And they... Yes. Alright. Alright. So as Decker murders yet another one, his body collapsing to the floor, the fresh smell of bile hitting your nose as the pile of Count Barbette begins to reek on the stage that you stand atop of. The guards go pounding towards the main door, bursting it open before they go racing out into the courtyard through the next main doors. There's various sounds of other individuals shifting from either upstairs or behind doors, all intent on leaving or running away from the Great Hall. And that is where we're going to end today's session.